Hello and welcome to another episode of Waiting for Tokyo. My name is Michael Raziel. I am your host, but more importantly, I have the incredible Amy Bilquist here with me. She is USA Swimming 2021 hopeful, NCAA and Pac-12 champion at the University of California. Missed the 2016 Olympic Games by just one spot. We don't need to relive that. We're talking 2021 today, and she will represent the DC Trident in the International Swim League in 2021. Amy, how are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
It is a good day to be alive. I appreciate you being on here and getting to tell a little bit extra about your story, obviously. What were your initial thoughts and emotions when you heard that the 2020 games were being postponed to 2021?
Well, it was kind of a crazy day. I think there had been a lot of anticipation that week. We kind of knew a decision was going to be coming in the next couple of days, but I was actually sitting at home. I hadn't had access to a pool in a little bit, and I was sitting at home. My boyfriend was working from home right next to me, and I was doing a paint by numbers. I was bored. I didn't know what to do yet. Ordered like a ton of paint by numbers off Amazon and was painting one of them. And then I see my one of my best friends from college text me. She's a diver, so she didn't swim, and she was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "What? What do you mean? Am I okay? Yeah, I'm fine." And she's like, "Well, didn't you see?" And I was like, "See what?" And then immediately my phone started blowing up with all these texts like, "Oh my gosh, are you okay? What are you gonna do? What's gonna happen? What does this mean?" And I was just getting around to like reading the articles about it when my phone was just blowing up, and I was trying to respond to everyone. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I'm totally fine. Like, we'll figure something out. Totally fine." Did that rapid fire. And I think about like an hour after when the text finally started to settle down and it hit me, I was like, "Oh, I'm not fine. Like this sucks." I started tearing up. I cried a little bit, and it was interesting because it hit me all at once. And I think my natural thing, and I think a lot of natural athletes' responses are, "It's fine. We'll be okay. We'll figure something out. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine." And then once that kind of died down, and I had the opportunity to let it really sink in and like feel, um, I was super overwhelmed, and I was angry. I understood why it needed to happen. It was never a lack of understanding or thinking it wasn't a good idea. For me, selfishly, I wanted that last year to be my last year of swimming. I wanted to go out on top. I was feeling good. I was just coming off a knee surgery, finally got back into shape, and now I'm having to take time off again. And I was just super frustrated with everything. And at that point, the bigger picture to me seemed so overwhelming. So it got canceled in March, and I looked and I was like, that is another year and a couple months change of just every single day going to practice and getting your butt handed to you every single day. And I had in my mind this great picture of going to trials, accomplishing my goals, going to the Olympics, and calling it a career then. And I was really excited for all these moments. And I just feel like it got at at first I felt like it got taken away from me. And then as time went on, I just realized it got like pushed a little further away from me. Like it's still there, I can get it, but it's just a little bit further. And I think during that time I had to really sit down with myself in the mirror, decide if this is what I wanted to do for another year, and truly decide if this is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to half-ass it. If I want to swim and complete this 2021 cycle, it has to be with the same intention, same intensity as before. And so I think my natural response was, "It's fine. Everyone has to deal with it. We'll be okay." And then once it hit in, it was hard. And it took me, I would say, a good month and a half to really wrap my head around how things were going to look for the next year.
What is that
Mhm.
conversation like? Understanding that yes, you're not quite putting your life on hold for an extra year, right? Because this is an extreme goal that you're looking to accomplish. But at the same time, there are other things that you want to do, and understanding that this is going to take, as you said, it's not taken away. It's just going to get a little bit longer to get there. How do you
Mhm.
have that type of conversation?
It's really hard, and I think it's a conversation that even though you're having it with yourself, you still wanna, like, push it off, and I think you still wanna have that defense mechanism as of, "It's fine, it's fine, it's fine," for as long as you can. Like, even though I got to the point during that day where I cried, I don't like I said, I don't think I fully understood it for a month and a half, and I
Mhm.
don't think I fully let myself have that conversation with myself. And it's hard to start because you're not mad at anyone,
Yeah.
or it's just like a situational thing, and it's hard because you can't like direct that. You can't be like, "Oh, this person caused this. I'm so mad at this person," or like, "Even I did this, so I'm mad at myself." It's not like that. It's just like at some point, it's radical acceptance. You just have to be like, "This is how it is. Like, what are we gonna do?" So I think for me, the hardest part is trying to weave my way through like my emotions. Yes, I was angry. Yes, I'm sad. Like, do I still have that drive to want to keep going? And after that month and a half, I really found that yes, I do. I would try to do, light workouts to stay in shape, not really pressure myself. And I'd find myself at the end of every workout just full throttle, sweating, going so hard. And I think it's in my nature to not really like give up or not
Mhm.
really give 100% in what I'm doing. So even when I was like, okay, I'm just going to do like a really light like cycle on the indoor bike we have at my house. And then all of a sudden I found out I'm going to like bike a marathon. Like that was my
Mhm.
goal. It's like, you know what? I've already gone 10 miles. Might as well go 26.2.
Hey, yep.
At that moment in time, I was just like, you know what? I'm not done. That competitive edge isn't gone. It's frustrating that this is the situation, but it's still there. So I think it was to be honest, a lot of time where I just felt bad for myself and I kind of just felt bad for everyone. And then I was looking around and being like, you know what, I thought I had this bad, but look at the college seniors who missed that last
Mhm.
NCAAs. Like the girls were literally hopping on a flight in 2 days and everything got canceled for them. So I think it's realizing it's bigger than just myself. And again, like I understood why everything needed to happen. Like that was never a question, but it was just the fact that I don't think people understand how big a commitment it is to try to make an Olympic team. And I've been swimming since I was 4 years old competitively. And I had got to that point in my career where I was like, you know what, I still love swimming, but I just want to see what else is out there.
Mhm.
And so I was getting really excited to be able to close that chapter, open a new one. And, it's another year of something that I didn't think I would get the opportunity to have another year of. Am I going to make the best out of it? Or am I going to sit here and like be pissed the whole year? Like, that's not going to help anyone. So for me, it's, every practice being able to go and say, wow, I'm just happy I can get in a pool today because I couldn't get in a pool for such a long time and stuff like that. Or with the ISL, like I'm super excited to be able to compete. I didn't know when I was going to be able to go off a block and race the world's best, if ever again. So I'm just really excited about all that. Kind of turned it from feeling sorry for myself to really in this next year focusing on the journey, not so much the destination, still having that destination as like the ultimate goal, but not losing the journey on the way.
And I think that part is very important, and as you said, if you can spin it essentially in your mind to say like, "Hey, this stinks originally, but now I get this extra year to compete. I get this extra year to swim and as you said, go up against the best in the world." How long did it take you to finally get back into a pool?
Yeah, so rewinding at the beginning of 2020, I said I had a knee surgery. So I was
Mm.
out
Mhm.
January, February, I came back in March, and it was the 3rd week of March when everything got shut down. So I had finally gotten back into like decent shape. And I remember telling myself, oh my gosh, if I ever get injured again, I'm just calling it because that's
Oh,
so
no.
hard to get back into shape. It's so hard to take time off and get back into shape at this time. And then, like, within the week or two, everything got shut down. So I lost access to a pool late March. And I live in Arizona. There's a lake about an hour away from where I live. So for a little bit, was trying to go to a lake. It's hot, it's gross, it's not a good time, it's not the same type of training. I'm a sprinter, backstroker, swimming in a lake doesn't really do it for me and what needs to be done. And so I was just kind of getting frustrated with everything. I was talking to my coaches, it just wasn't looking like anytime soon. So I packed up all my things and I went to Modesto, California, where my parents live, and I stayed with them for about a month, a little over a month. And it was really nice because being a collegiate athlete and pretty much just an athlete in general, I'm gone a lot. I travel a lot. So even throughout the 4 years I was in college, I don't get to see my family much. I mean, we were home for Christmas break for like 5, 6 days. Like that was like the longest break I got to see them. I was at school over the summer. So having that time with them was really, really nice and kind of just put everything into perspective, like like swimming is just swimming. And for so long in my life, I've let it like consume who I am, who I was. And now being able to go home, spend time with family, making sure everyone's staying safe and healthy and all those things that put everything into perspective But the second I got a text that I had access to a pool, I packed right back up and came back down to Arizona. I was like, "Bye, mom, dad, love you so
Love
much.
you.
See you in, I don't know, see you in whenever." I had someone reach out to me who had a 25-yard pool in their backyard and was like, "Hey, like, I don't know if you're still in Arizona, da, da, da. You're totally welcome to come swim over here once a day." So that was really nice. And then finally, our pools reopened end of May. And so I was really only out for like 2-ish months,
Mhm.
like a little less than 2 months. But if you look at my whole 2020, at that point, I'd been out of the water far longer than I'd been in the water if you had my knee surgery. Um, but actually that second comeback was a lot better because I was just grateful to be able to be in a pool. Whereas when I was coming back from my knee surgery, it's like there's X amount of days till trials. I'm not where I need to be. My knee doesn't feel great, all this stuff. And it was kind of a blessing in disguise for me to have to stay out of the water again because my knee fully got that chance to heal and like take the time it needed to fully recover from that surgery. I finally started, I think, full time training like end of June, beginning of July ish. But I
Wow.
was in the pool for at least hits in
Mhm.
certain days for that
Yeah, and
month
that
prior.
that just has to be so difficult, and how long did it take you just to get back into the swing of things? Are you there
Like,
yet?
quite recently, like, just recently, I feel like I got back into the swing of things because it was coming to practice every day. You didn't know what that practice was gonna be like. You had no idea. You had no idea really how long we'd be able to stay in the pool, all of this, and for me, like, that was so tough, and not knowing when I was gonna have another opportunity to race, and not knowing even if the 2021 Olympics were gonna happen. It literally felt like walking into the pool every day like a chicken with its head cut off. Like I had no direction, didn't know what I was doing. I was just flustered. I was trying to just be happy to be there, but I was just so frustrated because I didn't know why I was there. Whereas now I'm back into that cycle where Monday's power, Tuesday's pace, Wednesday's power, third, like every single day has a set of what know I'm going to do. At least know what the intention of that practice is going to be. So when I was running around with like no intention, it was really, really hard for me, but it also taught me a lot. It taught me that like not everything has to be planned out. Like you can do things and just if you believe in it, if you make your own intention for it, like you don't need someone to tell you why you're doing something. Like figure it out for yourself. Like all that kind of stuff. So as much as I love my routine and being back in it, I do think that period really helped me grow as an athlete and really say, you know what, show up to every practice and like honestly just be happy you're there. It doesn't really matter what you're doing as long as you're bought into a program, like you're gonna succeed.
How much more confident in 2021 are you than you were in 2020?
I would say in the fall of 2019, I was pretty confident. And then
Mhm,
once I had my surgery and kind of had to make that comeback, I kind of was really starting to doubt myself and
mhm.
just be like, you know what, I'm going to go to trials, whatever happens, happens. I just need to be happy. And I kind of was thinking that same thing after the postponement and getting back into shape. It was now like, this is just rough. I'm 23 now. Like, I know that doesn't sound very old, but in swimming, when you've been doing it this long, like your body's just beat down, like very beat down. And at that point, I was just like, you know what? I'm going to final. I'm going to go out on a high note. You know, if I don't make the team, whatever. And I was kind of just, I think, telling myself as that like a defense mechanism, like, whatever, it's fine. But now I'm getting to a point where I'm finally like getting back into training, feeling like very good, getting my confidence back. And it's like, you know what? Like, I have a chance, you know, like don't ever rule myself out. I think I was the only one in 2016 who thought I was going to make that team going into the meet. And so when I missed it, everyone's like, you should be happy you were that close. But it's, you know what? I don't need anyone else to believe in me besides me. And I'm getting that confidence back. I'm getting that belief back. And you know, I like want to go in there and make that team. But I think the biggest lesson I learned in 2016 after not making it is that's not um that's not the be all end all. You know,
Mhm.
like there's so much more to Amy Bilquist that in 2016 I didn't know. I was forced to kind of figure that out when I felt like I just confronted the biggest failure of my life. So now in 2021, it's like I want to make that team so badly. I'm going to do everything I can to give myself the best position to make it. But if I don't make it, you know what? I enjoyed this year. I had a great time, and it's time to see what else Amy Bilquist can be great at.
Talk to me a little
Mhm.
bit about what is it like being a part of an startup, swim league? We really don't see these types of things happen, but that's gotta be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's actually so much fun. I had a great time last year. I think you can imagine that the first year of anything has its kinks, has its
Of course.
flaws, but it was so fun. It really I didn't think after college, I didn't think I would be able to be on a team ever again or have that like team environment. You're swimming for something bigger than yourself. Like going into ISL, it was truly so fun and one of the highlights of my entire swimming career because you're going out there, it's like a dual meet setting with college, but you're throwing down against the best in the world. It's not like you're swimming like you're a college team that's not as good as you guys and you're in off events and it doesn't really matter. It is you need to be ready at all times because you're racing like world record holders, you're racing former Olympic champions, it's all that. So it's a really high intensity, fun meet. But also, I think the ISL does a really good job of like making the sport of swimming sexy. So, like they have the light shows, a DJ.
Right.
The meet's really, really fast paced. It's short, it's cut up in 2 days. But for the athlete, it's really hard. But I think we're all having so much fun that it's like, whatever. Like, we don't mind it because this is so fun. I never thought I was going to have the opportunity to be in a league for swimming. When I was little, I used to write all the time, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I was like, professional swimmer. But back then, a professional swimmer was you were like the top 0.01% and you were an Olympian. And if you weren't that, you retired after college. But now it's giving people the opportunity to stay in the sport, earn some money, be able to support themselves better while just swimming. And I just had like the most amazing time. And like you said, I was on LA Current last year, which was really fun because I had a ton of collegiate teammates on that team. So a lot of Cal swimmers swam there. And this year, I decided to switch teams because one, at the beginning, the contact was far more enticing for DC Trident, and I also like I found out, like, I want to meet more people,
Mhm.
like, I love my collegiate teammates, and we're always gonna be so tight, like, me going to a different team isn't gonna change that. So I wanted to kinda spread my wings, fly a little bit, be able to swim more races on DC Trident, hopefully, not just 100, 200 backstroke. Like, I'd really be able to, get back into some sprint freestyles, all that kinda stuff, and they also hired one of my coaches here as a coach on the staff. So that kind of just sealed the deal for me.
What are some of the things that you're looking to get into after you do officially retire from this high of a level of competitive swimming?
Yeah, I don't really know yet. I think whatever I'm in, I want it to have something to do with sports. I think I've just been around sport. It doesn't have to be swimming, but just around sports. I think I can relate to people in that atmosphere a lot better, have that competitive nature. I know what it takes to like help a sports team run. Like I know all of the behind the scenes um, effort it takes to make a team go out there and function to their like highest capability. So I think for me, something in the sports atmosphere, whether that's marketing, operations, I don't really know yet. And honestly, even if I find something that I fall in love with that's not sports, I will always be involved in sports in some way. And I know that. It's just like, I think kind of the little stuff I'm really excited about. Everyone's like, no, like working sucks, like swim for as long as you can. And I'm like, I understand that. I get that. But I have been swimming for 19 years, like 19 years. And I'm just so excited to try something new.
I love that. Yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
as you said, spread your wings, fly a little bit. You
Yeah.
deserve it. You put in a lot of time, energy, effort, represent our country at the highest level. We appreciate the heck out of you for that, and I think it is fantastic. And hey, if you want to go work that 9 to 5 in a cubicle and just ask somebody to go get drinks afterwards, Amy, I will back you 100%. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Please, please, pleasure's all mine. So thank you so much again. We had Amy Bilquist, USA Swimming 2021 hopeful NCAA and Pac-12 champion. Amy, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.